I am thrilled about our next guest. I am such a fan of his work. You know, we've had Paul Rudd on this program so much talking about fantasy football. He's in a fantasy league with him, along with the rest of the characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Loved him in 8 Mile, loved him in The Hurt Locker, and now he's on Netflix's Outside the Wire. He's a diehard Saints fan from the great city of New Orleans. He is none other than Anthony Mackie. How are you, Anthony?
Hey, what's up?
Good to chat with you. How's everything?
Everything is good, man. Just loving my city, hanging out.
Okay, are you in New Orleans right now? Is that where you are?
I am in New Orleans proper. Yes, sir.
Okay, is this where you were on Sunday, Anthony?
Sunday, I was in Atlanta because if we pulled off a miracle and won, I wanted to flaunt it in the Falcons' face.
Which kind of brings me to my first question for you, Anthony, is that how do you view it, with a sense of irony or a sense of something else, that you as a diehard Saint fan is known in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Falcon?
It's very annoying. That's why I've tried to have the character name changed several times. I've referred to him as Sam, not the Falcon.
Understood.
So,
okay.
You know, it's just something that I have to do.
Because I got to tell you, I know this firsthand, having been around great Saints fans, and also in the Super Bowl in Atlanta, where the Rams made it because of the whole pass interference thing. Is that Falcons fans who are all over town were very pleased that the Saints did not make it to that Super Bowl that year, Anthony, and they were vocalizing that quite a bit.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it had to be. Because the last thing they wanted was their inaugural Super Bowl to be won by the Saints, because everybody knew the Saints was going to win that game. And if you look at the play that the referees didn't call, how do you not make that call?
That is a correct assessment. We're still wondering how the hell that happened.
There you go.
So
that would never happen to Brent Favre. That would never happen to Aaron Rodgers. That would never happen to Tom Brady. Only Drew Brees.
Oh my gosh. Do you think this is it for Drew, Anthony? It sure looked like it to me. What do you think?
I hope so. I hope so. I think Drew gave it his all. I think Sean proved Sunday that he would rather lose with Drew than win with Jameis Winston, and that was mind blowing to me. That game really just pushed the entire city over the edge with the Drew-Sean love affair, because you have Deshaun Watson sitting out there, and he's 5 hours away, and I will drive to his house, put him in my truck, let him live in my house, and make him breakfast if he were to come to the Saints every day.
Just breakfast, Anthony? Just one meal a day? That's it? That's all you make?
Breakfast. I'm not going to be his personal chef. I just want to make sure he wakes up nice.
You'd have company, though. I think everybody's willing to drive, even if it's not just 5 hours away, to go get Deshaun Watson and bring him to their town.
Hell yeah. But think about Deshaun Watson with Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, and we get a great tight end out of the draft in Sean Payton's system. Think about that. Think about Deshaun Watson in Sean Payton's system. That's Drew Brees, but a mobile Drew Brees who could actually run and move around, with Alvin Kamara coming out in the flat, with Michael Thomas in the slot who can catch everything.
Yeah, but you might have to ask the Pelicans to trade Zion to the Rockets to make it work, because I don't know what the Saints would give up to go get him. This might have to be a 2-league trade, Anthony.
No, first round pick, everything. We give them all that. Who are you going to get out of the draft that's going to play better than Deshaun Watson? Everybody talking about these quarterbacks coming out the draft, but nobody's proven that kid from Clemson never played against an NFL linebacker.
You're referring to
a whole different ballgame.
You're talking about Trevor Lawrence is who you're referring to,
yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence never saw 6'2", 225 pounds of pure chocolate coming at him.
Yes, you're correct. He's probably never seen that sort of thing, but
exactly. And if you think about college ball, there are only 2, maybe 3 great players on each team. When you're in the pros, every player is a great player.
So let's put outside of you not being able, or your team being able to pull this off, Taysom Hill or Jameis. What do you think about the next quarterback there, if you had to choose?
Jameis. It has to be Jameis.
Yeah, he didn't do that during the season, though. I mean, he went Taysom Hill instead. So you're not a Taysom guy, or you're a James. I mean, walk me through your mindset here, Anthony.
Well,
walk me through that.
Taysom isn't a quarterback.
Okay.
Taysom isn't a quarterback. He's more of a gimmick, like role player.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you look at Jameis has the wheels that he can still move around. Jameis he showed Sunday with that 60-yard rope that he threw down the field that he has the arm and the ability to get the ball down the field.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't the problem in Tampa Bay. You had you had an undisciplined team. You had wide receivers running routes they wanted to run. You had an offensive line that wouldn't block for him. You can't say that he was the problem in Tampa Bay.
Anthony Mackie here on the Rich Eisen Show. Outside the Wire on Netflix. I want to get to that in a second, but I do want to ask you a couple other parts of your filmography and your history. 8 Mile. What's your favorite Eminem story? Favorite Marshall Mathers story from that set, Anthony?
There was this one day we're sitting on set, and Eminem comes over and he's like, "Yo, what's up, man?" I was like, "Hey, what up, Em?" So he's like, "Cool." So I was reading the script and I was kind of thinking, like, there's no reason for me not to like you. Like, you're a cool dude. Like, I like you. I was like, I like you too. He's like, cool. So you don't mind if I add some stuff in the script about you? I was like, well, about me or about the character? He's like, no. Just add some stuff in the script. Just side character stuff. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So he goes, and his entire battle, the final rap, he Googles me and learns about me and all this stuff. And he basically makes fun of me as Papa Doc. And I'm like, well, that's a little too personal there, Mr. Marshall.
and it stuck in the movie? It stuck?
Yeah, his whole final battle. I'm like, I grew up in a nice house, and my parents, they were nice to me. Why are you poking fun of me?
That's amazing.
So what happened when Cut got called? What happened? What happened?
He literally walked over and was like, "Yo, that's gonna be dope." I'm like, that's gonna be great for you. I'm happy for you. I'll just stand over here with the look and let that pass.
And so your reaction on camera, was that your first initial reaction that was kept as well in 8 Mile?
Yeah, there was nothing. I mean, what else? So I go to Curtis, and I'm like, yo, Curtis, what would be good is if he do his rap, then I do a rap, and it's a tie, and then he does another rap, and I don't say nothing. I was like, but I got to say something. He's like, no, I think it'll work better if he just says and you don't say anything. I'm like, so I don't get to say nothing. I get nothing. I just stand there. He's like, yep. Oh, boy. Okay.
Oh, man. I did not know that. That is amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty. You're the first person I've told that story.
I did not. I will take that exclusive and run with it because that is that is amazing. That gives me a whole new like now I want to go see it again. Now I want to see it again.
None of that stuff was in the movie because they were developing my character as the movie went on.
Mm-hmm.
So Curtis would come to me every day and be like, well, what do you think about this? So, because we had developed a friendship over the course of shooting because I loved his work so much.
Right.
And he was like, well, what do you think about this for your character? What do you think about that? And I was like, oh, okay. So all those extra scenes we put in there, I actually got to spend a lot of time with Eminem, and we became cool, And he was like, well, there's no reason for me not, with boys, on set, off set, why don't I like you? I'm like, good point. So that's when he just proceeded to murder me.
So did you really go to Cranbrook?
No, but I did go to private school. I went to North Carolina School of the Arts.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a first.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I went to North Carolina School of the Arts for high school.
Which is great. I mean, you should be commended for that. You know what I mean?
That's what I said. Not bullied by some young rapper.
Anthony Mackie here on the Rich Eisen Show. What appealed to you about Outside the Wire, Anthony? Obviously, you've been in some big time films, big budget, big action. You've been in something that could be considered science fiction as well. What did you like about Outside the Wire, Anthony?
You know, from the first time I read it, growing up in this business, well, growing up as an actor, there are certain actors that I idolize, that I just always wanted to be like when I grew up. And Wesley Snipes was a big part of me growing up and wanting to be an actor. So I always wanted to do like a Wesley Snipes movie. So when I read this script, it really hit me as Terminator meets Training Day. And when I put those two movies together, I was like, holy those are two amazing movies.
Right.
If I could do those together, I'm in that all day. So we, our biggest problem, or the hardest point with this movie, was finding the other actor. And once I found Damson, I knew we had something special. I knew his energy with mine would be a perfect fit for the Training Day storyline. So, you know, I love old school Hollywood popcorn action movies. I love Passenger 57. Like, I love Independence Day. I love those movies. So for me, it was an opportunity to do one of those types of movies.
And you're referring to Damson Idris, who's in the film. Michael Kelly as well. By the way,
yes.
he's a Falcon fan. I don't know if that was discussed on the set. I know you're not.
Oh, I know. I've known Michael Kelly for almost 25 years, and literally we've gone at it many times about our alliance, our teams.
That's amazing. I mean, that is a great rivalry, no doubt about that. The Falcon and Winter Soldier premiering in March on Disney Plus. My kids are fired up about this. What should I tell them about this show that's coming up, Anthony?
It's a really good show. I was worried when I first heard it was streaming that the quality would be lost, that, you know, it would just turn into this idea of what these movies could be, and they wouldn't be able to do the action sequences and give us the look that we've come accustomed to with Marvel movies. But the action sequences are mind-blowing. The story is great. You really get to know the characters and fall in love with the characters, as you can see with WandaVision. And it just brings you further into the universe. So it's not going to disappoint. I'm very excited for people to see it.
Yeah, I mean, my kids saw Endgame before I did and totally spoiled it. I'll be very honest with you. That actually happened, and I'm like, gee, are you kidding me? You know, could, you know, they saw it before me. So, are you going to be the next Captain America?
Well, see, that's the thing. At the end of Endgame, Sam didn't accept the shield. If you remember, he told Steve, "It doesn't feel right because this shield is yours." Right. So, you know, the show is a long way of figuring around who's going to be Captain America, where's the shield going to end up, and if Captain America, if that moniker is going to come back and, you know, somebody's going to hold that moniker again. Okay. And so I guess last one for you on this, at least, did you beat the previous Captain America in the fantasy league? Did you at least take out Chris Evans? How did this work? Walk me through this, please. I didn't. So I was in Europe shooting Falcon Winter Soldier when we had our draft. Okay. So I'm on set. It's like 3 a.m. So I missed the first like 3 or 4 rounds of the draft. Oh, you had an auto pick. And literally everybody who I got auto given got hurt the first 2 weeks of the season. So Saquon? Is that Saquon? Saquon. Yep. Saquon was my first round pick. Out. Gone. Boom. Just like that. So you had the second overall pick in this draft, pretty much. I think that's probably third. Third. Wow. So that's unfortunate that he dropped to 3 for that. So who's in this league? It's from the Marvel universe, right? This league? Yeah, it's pretty much all Marvel people. It's basically us raising money for our charities of choice. And this year we did it through DraftKings, which was great. It's pretty much like Chris Evans, Pratt, RDJ, Don Cheadle used to be in it, but he's too busy for us. Now he just, chimes in with very disparaging and rude comments. Rudd, I know Rudd's in it. I know Paul's in it. Yeah, Rudd's in it. Palm's in it. Okay. So Lizzie is in it. Who won it? Who took it down? This year, I think Pratt won.
Okay, and
I think Pratt won, yeah.
And he's a Seahawks fan, right? He's a diehard Seahawks fan.
Yeah, which is very annoying.
Well, I mean, Rudd's team keeps on churning. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl, Anthony Mackie, before I let you go? Who do you think's going to win?
Well, I'll say this, Rich. It was clear.
Yes.
With all this CTE talk and everything, it was clear that Patrick Mahomes had a concussion when he was coming off that field.
Yes.
That was very clear. He didn't lose his breath. He didn't know. He was concussed. He couldn't stand up. So I'll be interested to see. I think this week has to do with who plays quarterback for Kansas City. There's no way they're beating Buffalo. Buffalo's running on all cylinders without Patrick Mahomes. He's the Twinkie in the box of goodness. So the best Super Bowl would be, I think, because Kansas City doesn't have that good of a defense. I mean, we almost beat them. We lost by 3, and Drew Brees had, other than Sunday, the worst game of his career. So I think Buffalo, Green Bay would be the best Super Bowl, and I want my man Aaron Rodgers to pull it out, man. That's my dude, cheesehead. I'm always a cheesehead second.
Is that right?
First, I'm a cheesehead second.
Why is that?
Because I was there when Brett Favre beat New England in New Orleans. I was at the Super Bowl. So I've grown up. A lot of people in New Orleans have an infinite love for Green Bay, mostly because Brett Favre is from Mississippi, but because they were the big team when we were all growing up. Like, even if you listen to Lil Wayne, he's a Green Bay fan.
That's right.
So
sure is.
It was just a thing about our generation, and they won that Super Bowl here, which was an amazing weekend.
Well, Anthony, I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of your work. I knew when you'd come on the show, it would be dynamite. I'd love to keep doing this. I love chatting with you. I love your work, and I will now forever watch 8 Mile differently. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Get somebody to call Deshaun and tell him I got some beignets and daiquiris waiting.
Done, Anthony. Congrats on Outside the Wire. Let's do this more often. Thanks for the call.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, guys.
That's Anthony Mackie, one and only. At Anthony Mackie on Twitter and Instagram. Beignet and daiquiris. That's not a bad fantasy team name, too.
Beignet and daiquiris.
In.
Every Super Bowl, every morning.
Beignets and daiquiris.
Beignet, not a daiquiri. I mean,
okay.
Rich, you know.
Watched 8 Mile 20, 30 times. Never
knew that. That's his. He went and he's like, I'm going to go Google and use that against you. And he had no idea. And they're like, let's do it.
That's amazing.
That's a wrap. That's a take. That's it.
This guy's a
That's in the
gangster.
can.
His real name's Clarence.
And Clarence lives at home with both parents.
I mean,
Clarence's parents have a really good marriage.
like these guys, come on. I love it. 8 Mile.
Amazing.
Rich, can I drop just another 8 Mile little note there?
Sure.
I was friends with Brittany Murphy, the late Brittany Murphy.
May she rest
actress.
in peace, yeah.
And there were times, we hung out for a few years. And one time she told me a story that she had no idea how to throw up a middle finger because she never flipped anyone off in her entire life until she did 8 Mile, and Eminem had to sit her down and teach her how to
do it.
And if you watch the movie, like, he has a weird way of flipping people off. And if you look, she does it the exact same way he does. And I was like, how is it that you've never flipped anyone off before?
My gosh, I got to watch 8 Mile again.
Nice person.
We're learning a lot of stuff about 8 Mile.
Movie.
Amazing.
And then just again, T.J. Jefferson, the Forrest Gump of the Rich Eisen Show, literally has floated through life and met everybody.
Tidbits with TJ.
Tidbits with TJ.
Hey,
everybody.
Great job, Mike.
Part of RES Consulting. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.